Your organization, Physicians for Human Rights Israel, was all over the NATO nation media, the media of countries supplying the weaponry that Israel is using to slaughter the people of Palestine. They loved your organization a while back. The New Yorker, owned by the Newhouse family, the Condé Nast Newhouse family, how Hamas used sexual violence on October the 7th. Physicians for Human Rights Israel issued a report collecting evidence of sexual and gender-based violence. One of its authors lays out their findings, Isaac Chatner. You were used, weren't you, your organization, to lay the foundations of public opinion to allow the genocide to happen. And would you say that your latest reports outlining the genocide are not being carried with as much vigor by these media outlets?
I think that both of these reports got a lot of traction in international media. One for a better reason than the other, meaning the second one was looking into evidence that was, as you said before, hard to watch for Western countries and the publics, while the first one was too easy maybe to watch, something that maybe many expected to see and maybe read into something that they already thought had happened. And I think that first report that we issued was about looking into the need to investigate what happened in October 7. Unfortunately, it seems that the Israeli government, Israeli institutions have done a lot in order to not allow the investigation to be performed properly. And as a human rights organization, we want the truth out. We want the actual truth out, and perpetrators to be accountable.
Because Physicians for Human Rights Israel played a terrible role, wouldn't you say, in those early days after October the 7th, Pramila Patten of the UN being used? Because all I ever heard was, look at the rapes of it was so redolent of what Edward Said, the great Christian Palestinian, would write about, the Orientalism of the violence of the savage being used to justify what would then become the genocide. Didn't you feel that way? Were there arguments in your organization about it?
Definitely, this was manipulated in a way that, like you said, strengthening tropes in Western publics about the Orient, definitely. And most importantly, it's not as painful for me to be manipulated as an organization. What's really bad, and what's bad for people everywhere in the world, that sexual violence became something to be used in order to justify crimes.
But it was being used by your organization, in effect, because you didn't have the proof, did you? You were holding too much store by the Israeli authorities, who were clearly using sexual violence propaganda, which has been used by Netanyahu, your prime minister, only the other day, to somehow justify genocide.
Yeah, so we were very clear about what our report says. Our report brought forward testimonies that were out in the public sphere. And we cited those testimonies. I think that we should have been more careful in citing testimonies that were later discovered to be inaccurate. And that's why we issued a clarification on that report, saying that some of the testimonies that we accepted were found false, which is something that is the right thing to do. But in any case, the objective of this report, the objective of our work, was to bring justice while never justifying a crime by another crime. We were very clear about our position regarding the attack on Gaza, even while we published that report in the beginning.